Operation Blooming Onion. 2 dozen defendants have been indicted for conspiring after a transnational multi-year investigation into a human smuggling and labor trafficking operation that illegally imported Mexican and Central American workers into brutal conditions in South Georgia. South Georgia. A lot could be said there, a lot could be said there, but I'll leave it at that. It details felony charges resulting from Operation Blooming Onion, an organized crime drug enforcement task force investigation. So they actually labeled these actual individuals a criminal organization. And so, uh, according to this actual description, it documents dozens of victims of modern day slavery while spelling out the illegal acts that brought these exploited workers into the United States and imprisoned them under inhumane conditions as contract agriculture laborers, legal laborers, I should say. These are legally uh, farm workers that are brought in seasonally to take care of crops. And apparently, it was a multitask copper agency. Uh, Homeland Security was involved, and it alleges that before 2015, the conspirators and their associates engaged in mail fraud, international forced labor trafficking, money laundering, among other crimes, fraudulently using the H-2A work visa, which is legally labor, to smuggle foreign nationals from Mexico, Guatemala, and Honduras into the United States under the pretext of serving as agricultural workers. And apparently, it wasn't cheap either because they got taxed. These immigrants got taxed hard. The conspirators required the workers to pay unlawful fees for transportation, food, and housing while illegally withholding their travel and identification documents and subject the workers to perform physically demanding work for little or no pay, housing them in crowded, unsanitary, degrading living conditions, and by threatening them with deportation and violence. They included being required to dig onions with their bare hands, paid 20 cents per each bucket harvested, and threatened with guns and violence to keep them in line. The workers were held in cramped, unsanitary quarters and fenced work camps with little or no food, limited plumbing, and without safe water. They are accused of raping, kidnapping, and threatening or attempting to kill some of the workers or their families, and in many cases sold and traded the workers to other conspirators. At least two of the workers died as a result of the workplace condition in the actual southern district of Georgia. Again, Georgia, huh? And apparently, the conspirators are alleged to have reaped more than 200 million from the illegal scheme, laundering the funds through cash purchases of land, homes, vehicles, and businesses through cash purchases of cashier's checks, and by funneling millions of dollars through a casino. Wow. And when I first was made aware of this was when I was out of high school when I was working in juvenile hall. You would randomly see these actual juvenile illegal uh, migrant workers, assault the actual ranch owners for payment for abuse, and then they would of course get the cops pulled up on them and called up on them, and they get charges, and kind of felt well, you did feel bad for it because they were just being abused, juveniles, and yet these ranch hands were just taking advantage of them and not paying them, hardly anything. And they're all going to get charged with conspiracy, mail fraud, money laundering, uh, forced labor, engage in conspiracy to engage in forced labor. But at the end of the day, man, how do you do that to somebody? You know what I mean? And the punishment is not enough. Whatever they're going to get is not enough to what they put these actual individuals through, Okay, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe.